sclerosis is a condition that affects over 2 million people in the world, and World MS Day is coming up May 30th, but it's never too early to raise awareness on what it is and how we can show our support. So today we have Caitlin and Claire talking about an event happening right here in the Roanoke Valley very soon. Ladies, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, okay, so I want to just jump into it. When we hear multiple sclerosis, MS, a lot of people know it as, what would you say this is? How would you describe it to somebody?
So MS is a disease of the central nervous system, so it affects your brain and your spinal cord. We don't know the cause, we don't have the cure yet. What we do know is that the body's attacking itself, so it is demyelinating the protective sheath around the nerves. So if you think about bad cell service, you want to talk, you don't know what's happening. Messages from the brain aren't quite getting to the rest of the body. Symptoms are varied. They can be optic issues, memory issues, balance issues. We do know MS looks very different for everyone. So if everyone in a room were living with MS, it would look different. So we call it the snowflake because it's not the same for anybody. And so it's just something that we know traditionally people 20 to 50 are diagnosed. However, we also know that we now are seeing patients as young as 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow.
So there's no barrier to who gets diagnosed. It can hit anyone.
And I think it's really important to emphasize that when you look at somebody, you might not see this disease. It can be a hidden disease. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about this, Caitlin, too, because you're very familiar with what MS is. Talk to me about your story.
Yeah, absolutely. So it actually, my first symptom or first flare started when I was training for the Blue Ridge Half Marathon.
Wow.
I started losing feeling in my leg, and at the time we didn't know if it was because I had just had a baby or what was going on, and so we kind of pushed it off. And then I wound up experiencing what's called optic neuritis, which is an acute visual loss, and I thought I had a contact stuck in my eye. And so what happened was during my lunch break, I ran over to my eye doctor and just said, hey, I think there's a contact in there. And I remember my doctor coming in, and she was young and she was kind, but she was shaking. And she told me, she's like, I believe you have optic neuritis, you need to go to the hospital.
Wow.
And I was admitted right away, and I received my full workup and my diagnosis all during that hospital stay.
Wow, and it's incredible to hear just how quickly this can kind of come on to somebody too, because we think of young, healthy people, that age range you described, not people we typically think of getting sick so quickly. So Claire, there is this event, Walk MS, that happens in all different cities, but it's also happening here in Roanoke. Tell me about this event.
So we will be at River's Edge North on April 12th. And Walk MS is really, I love to say that we are just planning the space. We try to create a day where we are celebrating people living with MS like Caitlin and the people that care for them. We are creating a space that we want to be hope-filled. We celebrate fundraising, we celebrate breakthroughs, and that just looks different for everyone. We get to share what the society does. Really, it's the easiest place for no barrier involvement with the society. It is a fundraising event. However, we do know that a lot of people, especially rookies for the first time, their world has now been turned upside down. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what's happening. They can just show up. So people can just show up. It is not a requirement to participate, but we do fundraise, and we need to fundraise. But we want people to just be there to see what the society does, to connect to other people, to see their larger community, and how we can support them.
I think that's so powerful, raising that awareness, and of course raising those funds is so critical. So you're welcome to come April 12th. That is the day at River's Edge Park right here in Roanoke. We have that information there on your screen. Ladies, I'd love to talk about this more with you. We're running out of time, so you're just going to have to come back at another time to talk.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for coming in. Best of luck with this fundraiser, and get walking, people. All right, we're going to be back after this quick break.